What's up guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to beat Dead Rails. This guide is for beginners or people who have not been able to get their first win. I'm going to be playing without a class to make sure it's fair. Once you spawn in, you will see your train and text on the top of your screen saying go sell the gold bar at the table. Go over to the bar. Once at the bar, drag the bar onto the table and then claim the money. Once you've gotten the money, you can go over to the general store where I'm going right now. The store is randomized at each outpost. Once here, you will see coal. Drag the coal onto this platform and then click on the thing. You can get multiple pieces. And if you get a pickaxe, I would recommend buying it. If you want to, you can restart until you get a pickaxe. Just put the coal in your sack and pick up the pickaxe. When I do this, I like putting the shovel in my inventory so it does not get in the way. Next, go over to your train. I like going up there. And it does not have any fuel at the beginning. So what you do is you go and put the coal in the fuel. Remember to put all of it. Oops, wait. Okay, there we go. But remember to put the coal in there. And I like to stop for the newspapers to build a little defense against enemies at night. Once you have the newspapers, go over to your train and put the newspapers in this pattern or whatever, I don't know. Just put one right there and put one right there, so there's a gap where you have to turn sideways to get in. Like, yeah. Once you're ready to go, why not? And once you're ready to go, you can start driving your train. You can stop at any ores. I would recommend stopping at most coal ores you see, unless it's nighttime and you might die. But also stop at houses unless you have enough stuff that you don't need to. Since I didn't get enough fuel at that thing, outlaws. I'm gonna stop at houses. I like to slow down a little so outlaws can get on the track so you can run them over. Yeah. And there's an outlaw right here, so let me smack it. Yeah. I like to look up when I empty stuff because sometimes I accidentally pick them up and it gets a little annoying. But you have to drag and then click weld to weld stuff to your train so it does not move. There's a sheriff's house right there, and I'm gonna just go to it real quick. Once you see a zombie, if they have that weird, like, derpy face or whatever, I would recommend getting close enough where you can hit them, but they can't hit you. And then just keep running backwards so they can't hurt you and you can easily get them. Look, come on, yeah. We'll have to go in. There we go. Okay. Inside sheriff's houses, there is ammo and guns sometimes. There's quite a bit of ammo right there. Let me get that and that. Ooh, a shotgun. Ow. Stop it. Die, little Jimbo. Yeah, okay. You can pick up the guns, and that's really all I need from that, so let's go back to the train. I would recommend if you were low on fuel, pick up zombies to put in the fuel so you can keep going and maybe make it to an outpost or another building to get more fuel and keep going. Also, there are some ores, as you can see. I think that's a gold and it has like a gray tint, and that is not an ore, the brown one. So you can only break the gray ones. You can break ores with shovels, but it's way faster if you use a pickaxe. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the night to be over so I can go get that gold in the morning. At around 5 o'clock it will become daytime, so you can go out. And also, if there's an enemy that spawns in at night, like a werewolf or something, it will despawn. As you can see, it doesn't like break that fast, but if you use a pickaxe, it breaks. You can store stuff in your sack by just clicking the store button. And I'll raid this house real quick to see what's inside of it. Nice, I got a gold bar. I think that's actually kind of rare. And a painting. What is that painting? Is that like the outlaw or something? Zambi and a Zambi. Okay. Okay, so you will see a castle, a fort, and a lab-looking thing throughout your runs. Okay. And I wouldn't recommend stopping at them unless you know how to raid them. But if you do know how to raid them, they might be worth it. The castle, I don't know if it's worth raiding because I don't know if you get enough stuff out of it to be worth. But you will see coal and it, yeah, 3 pieces. You will also see some silver or iron, I don't know what it's called, on the side of the railroad or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's a road, but it does not sell as much as gold or for as much as gold. And it's alright. I don't know why I stopped to get it, but I just felt like it, so yippee. But as you can probably tell, there's different sizes for the ores, and the different size means they have a different price. The bigger, the better. You will also see towns along the way, and they have very good loot. And yeah, let's see if it's safe to. Nope, I am not stopping. Die, Jimbo. Yeah. Yeah, okay, he's dead. But I would recommend stopping at towns if you have a good gun like a rifle, but I don't have anything like that. All I have is a shotgun. So, yeah. Also, every 10,000 meters you go, you will stop at these outposts and you can sell your stuff. The buildings are always in a random position, so make sure you know where they are. And there are also turrets at each base. There are 4 of them, and each of them have 70 ammo. And they can kill mobs, and vampires are super easy to kill and sell for 15, but werewolves are very hard to kill and sell for 20, so I feel like in the long run it's better if you get a lot of vampire nights where the sky is red, like right now, where the turrets don't spend that much ammo, but you can still make a good amount of money. A big mistake I see people making is that at the trading post they try to sell outlaws. Like, look at, you can't sell outlaws here. The way to sell outlaws is you have to go over to the sheriff's office. Or the sheriff's office is like a dark bluey purple. And you just put them on this thing, and you can sell them. I think I just got really lucky with all the stuff I got because I have $405 without looting the church. But you can go to the gunsmith, and I like getting a rifle and some ammo, which the ammo's right here. You drag it onto the platform just like in the other trading post, and then you can buy it. I think, yeah, that's good. You can pick it all up, and then you can do stuff. Yeah, you can shoot enemies, and a headshot with the rifle will one-shot zombies and the fast zombies, and I think wolves. And they can two-shot headshot a vampire, and I do not know how many shots it takes for a werewolf, which is why I got a shotgun, because they're really good at close range. Why is there a dead horse? With barbed wire, I like to weld it around here. And I like to weld the barbed wire kind of right there so zombie can't make it over. And if it's welded, it does quite a bit of damage to them, so you don't need to worry as much. But barbed wire does wear down after enough damage that it's dealt. So be careful of that. This is the first house I've raided since last time I said something, so you guys know I'm not doing extra stuff off camera to get an advantage. Something not a lot of people know is that if you drag a corpse up to a wolf, the wolf will become tamed and you can put it in your sack. Oh, that's another one. Run. But you can put that up there, but be careful, because if the wolf is just not like welded to your train, it might try to kill your horses and stuff, so just be careful of that, because you might lose your horse and you might need your horse for later. I'm gonna now be showing you the way that I raid towns. What? Okay. So what I normally do is I get my horse and I start to go, and as you can, where's a bank? I see a bank. So what I like to do is just clear out a lot of the zombies. I have super bad accuracy. Okay. Yeah. Now that I'm at a bank, I went behind the bank and I'm gonna make sure there's no zombies. Okay. What I do is you go close and put your horse down, then slowly and forward and get on your horse. Oops. Yeah. I guess that's how you can get on the roof. You can go, what am I doing? You can go onto your horse and glitch inside the bank, and then you can just put your horse down. Why is there a bomb? And these are bonds or whatever, and you can claim them. As you can see, now I have 44 bonds, and you can pick up all this gold and stuff. Make sure that you're being extra careful when you exit the bank, because if you're playing solo and you get stuck in here and your horse glitches outside without you being able to get onto it, you're just cooked. Yeah, so be careful of that. And it happened to me before, but luckily I was playing with somebody and they made a W clutch. I think that was the only bank. I'll go around the village to make sure. But besides that, that's how to loot banks. There weren't any more banks, so I left the village, and I'm gonna put my horse on the train and leave. It's turning nighttime. Every time it turns nighttime, I would recommend going into your train. And see how big the moon is? That means it's a werewolf night, so I would recommend not leaving your train, and if you do, stay inside the cabin where you have hopefully built a little defense with the newspapers. I'm now at the next outpost, and I'm going to sell all the stuff I have and buy some snake oils, which are very important if you want to beat the game. And I have an easy strategy on to beat the game. The werewolves took like 10 to 15 shots, maybe even more to kill, which is why Vampire Knights are really good, because they only sell for 5 or more. Vampires sell for 15, werewolves sell for 20, as I said before. And I'm going to just sell all my stuff real quick and buy some snake oils, and then probably just drive all the way to the end and catch up with you at the end. The only thing I bought at the previous outpost that you just saw was a lot of coal and some snake oils, which you find at the doctor's office. Uh-oh, they almost just killed my thing. But, yeah, I'm gonna just raid this blue house real quick. And to maybe, hopefully, find a lightning rod so I don't die. I don't see any, so I'm just gonna go straight back to the train. Why am I on the roof? At 80,000 meters, there's the final outpost where there's a lot of outlaws. So I would recommend having at least 6 snake oils. I think I grabbed a few extra. I'm gonna heal up real quick so I don't die and get one-shot headshot, because that would be very sad. When I get close enough, I'm gonna start drinking the snake oils and turn the lever. But do not get your greed too high before this outpost, because if you do, you will probably die. Like, don't raid any churches. Drink another snake oil. Okay. Turn the lever. And then when you turn the lever, I would probably drink another snake oil. Empty out your wolves if you have any. Drink another snake oil, and then just run to the end of the bridge up here. And you're pretty much safe over here for the rest of the game. And yeah. After you turn the crank, it has a 4-minute timer, I think, until the bridge behind me right now is fully lowered. So you can just sit up here. If it's nighttime, make sure, or just hope that it's not a lightning night and you get struck down. And I'm just gonna sit up here and wait. So, yep. I'll tell you when it's about to end. Tell me if this guide helped you out in the comments, and if it did, make sure to like the video. And if you want to see more content, subscribe. But that's the end of the video. Bye!